The pain point and frustration I hear most often from newbie travel agents or from travel agents who aren't brand new, but they've been at this game for a while and they haven't had their first client yet, or they're not earning enough in commissions to really make this feel like a second salary or even a sizable side hustle income. And the pain point is this: I'm not a good salesperson. I don't really love social media. I don't understand how marketing works. How am I supposed to get my name out there? I don't know how Instagram works. It's usually related to marketing. And part of it is that they don't understand how marketing works, and they are aware of that. And maybe that's where you're at. You know that you should be marketing your business or promoting yourself or putting yourself out there, quote unquote. You've probably heard that. Okay, well, how do I put myself out there? I have met with now hundreds of travel agents in one-on-one coaching sessions. I reach tens of thousands of travel agents every single month through my YouTube channel. I've done a lot of guest workshops and sessions. And so I have culminated everything I've ever taught about marketing and distilled it down into a 45-minute workshop as far as a high-level view of what marketing is. What do you actually need to know as a travel agent? Because it is different than being a general freelancer, than being a virtual assistant, than being a coach or selling digital products. Like a lot of things that you've probably had promoted to you or that you've seen on ads, like with Facebook and Instagram, you've probably been marketed to a lot. But a lot of times people are teaching about digital marketing to someone with a completely different business model than you. You're not selling courses. You're not selling a high ticket service. Yes, maybe you have some fees that you charge. Maybe you do some itinerary planning. Maybe you charge research fees. Absolutely. But what we do is technically in a way high ticket affiliate marketing, but everybody's niche is so different. Your avatar as a travel agent could be totally different from mine. I have some people who are in their 20s. They're talking to other people who are doing gap years, who are spending months traveling Southeast Asia. That is a very different client, and the marketing needs to look different than someone in their 50s who has a family, who's marketing to other families, mostly moms because they're the buyers, talking about Disney and family cruises. You see what I mean? So there's never a one-size-fits-all marketing plan in the sense of the platforms you use, the specific ways the platforms interact with each other is going to be entirely different. I personally mentor over 180 travel agents, and every single one has a different niche, a different customer avatar. They're using different platforms, and even within the platforms, you have different features. So let's just take Instagram as an example for a second, because you're probably familiar with that platform and you understand it at least to a degree because you've been a user, even if you've never done anything on Instagram as far as creation. It is not the same using Instagram as an influencer versus a content creator versus someone with a business. And then even as someone with a business, depending on what you're selling, you're going to use the different features of Instagram differently. You can create reels, you can go live, you can create a carousel post, which is when you swipe through those different images. You have single photo feed posts. You have the reminder feature, so you can talk about upcoming live streams that you have, or maybe even a webinar that you're launching. You see what I mean? So there's the overall marketing and branding plan you have of who are you in this space, who are you talking to, and that stuff is super important. And then you have the marketing plan of, okay, which platforms am I going to use, which features within those platforms am I going to use, and how do I actually use them, which is when we get to platform specific trainings. Right now, you're either in step 1 or step 2. Step 1 is when you're trying to lay the foundations of your brand, which is really important too, and it is related to your marketing master plan. The reason that I'm actually doing the marketing master plan right now and not the branding one is because branding is going to be a little more deeper and involved. It takes a little more introspection and reflection. I want you to get moving as quickly as possible. So while it's great to have your brand mapped out and designed, I do not want you sitting on your hands and using the fact that you don't know your brand, who you're talking to, what your niche is. I don't want you not taking action because you don't know what that is yet. Pick a starter niche, get started with that, because you are going to learn from experience. Experience is the greatest teacher. The more that you actually start creating content and getting out there and talking to people, putting yourself out there and actually having and executing a plan for doing that, the sooner you're going to start attracting clients, the sooner you're going to start making money. You're in this stage of business and life right now where you still have to convince yourself that being a travel agent works, that you've made the right decision, because even if consciously you think you did, there's also something subconscious there that's not making you move forward. So we have to tackle that too, right? And having a plan is part of that. So there's There's belief in the business model. Does being a travel agent work? There's belief in the specific host agency that you picked. Like, do I have all the tools needed? Which, yes, you do. Do you believe in the mentor or the systems that you have? And do you even know your mentor, or do you even know what you have access to? So maybe that's where you're at. And if so, then that is just the smallest little nudge to get going. And then there's the level of self-belief. Do I have what it takes? And right now, the answer might be no, just because you don't have the knowledge or you don't have the skills. Now, skills are going to be developed over time, right? Even if I did an in-depth 8-module course on Instagram and taught you every single feature and thing that you need to know about the algorithm, about content creation, you still need to go out and do the thing. The pancake theory is you have to do like 100 of the thing poorly until you gain the skills and get better and learn and can execute well, right? It's going to take a while to develop those skills, but we need to start, because the later we start, the longer it's going to take to get good. But before we even get to that part of actually learning the skills, we need to actually know the thing, right? We need to understand what is marketing, what's required of us, what do I actually need to do, what is the plan, and how do I execute on the plan? And that is what we're going over in this workshop. I'm going to take you through it step by step. So I'm planning 90 minutes for this. It might be a little bit longer than that once we factor in the Q&A. If it needs to be 2 hours, I'll be there for 2 hours. But 90 minutes is what I'm asking you to commit. 90 minutes of intention, not split attention, not multitasking, not texting, nothing like that. 90 minutes of focused action and attention and intention. I'm going to present on Marketing 101 so that you understand all these things you hear us say. What do they mean? Do you have a plan? And you're going to make decisions quickly. Am I going to be online or offline? Am I going to start with long form content or short form content? What does that even mean, right? You will know by the end of this workshop. I'm going to take you through that exercise where you're going to make all these decisions quickly. We're going to have designated action time where you are going to execute on your plan. You need to take those first few steps, not only because you'll have the time set aside to do it, but you need to prove to yourself that you can. And you also need to prove to yourself that you have the systems and the support and the structure available to do that, which is what the workshop is doing, which is what I'm doing, and which is what the community around you is doing. And then once you've taken those first few steps, then you'll be able to figure out, okay, what is my gap? Is it a mindset issue? Like, I just don't believe I can do it, or I need to see more evidence that being a travel agent works for other people, which if that's the case, we have a great community you can join. Is it a skill set issue? Now that I know the specific platforms I need to use, I need to go take an Instagram course or a YouTube course. If so, stand by, so I've got something for that too. Or is it a time issue? Do I just need to practice and iterate and give myself the actual time required to get good? It could be that as well. It could be a mix of things. So you're going to get so much clarity from this masterclass. I want to make sure you know how you could get this masterclass for free, because it's not a free masterclass, but you can get it for free. If you are a travel agent in our mentorship, meaning you signed up as a travel agent with IntelliTravel through my affiliate link or through the affiliate link of anyone on my team, then you get access to this for free. Just get in touch with me or your mentor and we will make sure you get a coupon code. It will be available to you at no charge. If you're already a travel agent, then you can get this workshop for free by joining the Travel Agent Abundance membership. And I will be sure to have information about that somewhere on this page as well, or somewhere in the email before you get on this page. You'll see it somewhere. And when you get access to the membership, this is more expensive than 1 month of the membership. So that alone is a great deal. We also do weekly Q&A calls. We have coaching on there. So if you know that you're looking for community structure and support, you should definitely check out the Travel Agent Abundance membership. And just a heads up, when you do purchase this workshop, you're going to see some special offers on the next page that are only available when you purchase this workshop. So keep an eye out for those, because once you close that page, they won't be available anymore. If you have any questions, you can always send me a DM on Instagram over at Travel Agent Haven, or if you got this in an email, just hit reply and I'll answer your questions there.